Welcome to the 500 book challenge. Yes, it's happening. Michael Kevaughan, you are no longer alone. I am joining. Yes, I think it was time for me. I've been holding back. I've been keeping myself behind the bastidors, not wanting to get involved on this because I knew if I said I was gonna join, I would join all the way. I didn't know if I had one of the reasons why I haven't joined before, although I've been very closely following the 500 book challenge from the beginning and considering to join from the beginning. One of the very few reasons why I haven't done it is because I didn't know if I had 500 books that I haven't read. And another reason is that I didn't have a way to confirm because I don't have a place. I don't have a shelf. I am a poor homeless boy on constantly on the move. So I always have to go to my friends' houses or to my family to find my books, to look through them and to take whichever is the next book I want to read. This is, of course, a problem when it comes to both fulfilling the challenge and starting it at all. But I have had some time this summer to go through the different places in which I have my books stored. And especially in Spain, because in Spain is where I knew I had most of my books. And I counted them. And it was 401. Probably I'm a few books off because they were not perfectly organized, so it was hard to count. But I had 400 and something books. I have read some of those books, but then again, I have around 100 books here in the UK. So that makes 500. Not only do I want to do the 500 book challenge, but I don't think I want to ever own more than 500 books. So I've also made a decision that once I have read all of the 500 books, I will basically only read on ebook. And whenever I love a book so much to want to have the physical copy, I will have to take a book out of my collection and give it away in order to add an ebook. Like this, I will keep sort of curating my top 500 books of all time. I think it was time for me to look at the mirror and be like, are you ever really gonna catch up? Because, it's like when you are very hungry and then you look at someone brings you to a buffet and you take 5 plates of food and then you eat 2. My want to read is much greater than my capacity to read. Not only because I am not a reading god like others, but also because I love many things as much as I love reading. There is at least 5 other things that I love as much as reading. And they all have to do with reading as well, because at the end of the day, the thing that I love is newness. It's just to learn. It's just to go from one adventure to the next one. That's one of the things I love the most. Surfing. That takes a lot of my reading time. Being on the move, which is what I was complaining about a moment ago, is something I love as well. There's another thing that is a massive impediment to reading. Many things I love that are in conflict with reading. So I'm not gonna renounce those things, but I'm also gonna keep myself in check. I have to stop asking for favors to people, asking them, do you have a place where I could put a box of books, or can I just leave 10 of my books on your shelf and come back in 10 months with no previous notice to take them. I have to stop doing that. So yeah, I think that too much in terms of books is relative to you, to your reading speed, to wherever you live and how you live. to your own pursuits and life and people involved in it. Like when I was in Son's house, for example, I didn't feel like his books had been too many for most of his life. They were too many for moving out, right? But for the kind of life that he had, only devoted to books, those were not too many books. But those books for me would have been 100 times too many. Similar with Michael's collection or Steve's collection, or Adam's collection. Any of those book collections are too big for me because I don't have a shelf, I don't have a library, I probably won't have one for a long time, and I am doing many other things, which means that I cannot commit to reading every day for multiple hours. So yeah, I mean, I'm joining the 500 book challenge. At some point, I'll find a way to get into my friend's house and show you some of the books that I'm planning to read. Mainly for the next few months are gonna be university related, but there's a lot to choose. And I have chosen my degree vocationally, so that doesn't mean that I'm reading them out of duty. I'm wanting to read them. So yeah, Michael, you are not alone and you won't be let down. I don't know how long I'm gonna take on this. I think I have read to this day 32 books. I did make this count at some point during the summer. That I haven't, like, of my list before, like, since I bought books, since the last time I bought books, basically. And I will make exceptions when it comes to this. I will not count, like, I will allow myself to buy books if I am academically forced. So if I have to get a book for university, if someone gives me a book, or if I find a book in one of these public spaces that sometimes you find. Sometimes I find books. I genuinely come across books often. Some of my favorite books some of my favorite books I found in the street, literally. So those are 3 exceptions. I don't think there's any other. Like, anything else is like, people. If someone gives me books, which happens sometimes, I also exchange books. I do that. I'm having to read a book that I don't have. Having to read, not wanting to read. The other one, which I forgot. Yeah, that's it. I'm joining 500 book challenge. From now on, I'll keep you updated on that. There's not weekly updates or anything like that because this is much longer than a marathon. But I'm here to stay.